My family always tell me, I guess I don't even know why I do it. I love just putting my people and interacting with my people and putting it in the comment section. I mean, putting my links in the comment section. I like just putting if you be around any of my family, they will tell you that I like to record any of my people of color, my black people, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American people. If I know for sure that they are my brothers or my sister from, you know, if I know for sure that they're native or whatever, I put them in my video, stuff like that. It's good. Just that I like having dialogue. It just looks beautiful. Is to be able to create something, like that. Create that atmosphere of things. And sometimes I often wonder. It hit me like why I have a like a heart desire is to, like, if you go and look at my videos, they had an elderly lady that came to my house, her and her son. I put them in my video, and I just love doing that, interacting with people. Even if they don't have much of nothing to say in the camera, just the idea, it just means a lot to me. And just put them on camera. You know what I'm saying? It does. So since I opened up this here, let's look at a lot of the scriptures. A lot of people don't know who Esau is. They don't. A lot of people don't know who Esau is, and I still got a lot of growing to do when it comes to pointing this stuff out. I do, but I feel like I'm still new to it. Every time I like come to the scriptures, if you go to Genesis 25 talks about the lineage of Esau. Let's read and see the different genealogies of Abraham, because nationality is important. Even though everybody came out of Abraham, God still had a chose. He said, uh, let's get that. Matter of fact, I want to let me establish something first. And I don't want to just bring that and then not establish what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Let's see here. He said, I think that's in Genesis 21, I think, where it's talked about how God said he going. Let's look at this here. Let's see if this might be it right here. I don't think this is it right here. Let's read Genesis 21 and 12. Let's try that. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grieved in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, and all that Sarah had said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice, for for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Wow, I hit it right on the nail. He said, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That's going into let's go to Romans, somewhere in Romans, like Romans. In Isaac shall thy seed be called. In Isaac. In Isaac shall thy seed be called. I think I'm close by Romans 9, I think. Yeah, in Romans 9 and verses 6. Not as though the word of God has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which is of Israel, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. It's right here in the New Testament. In Isaac shall thy seed be called. That that is they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise accounted for the seed. That means that everybody on the planet Earth is not a child of God. It's only God's elect that's a child of God. Let's establish one more, and then I'm gonna go back over to where I was from the beginning. Let's go to Psalms chapter 47, verse 19. Psalms 147, verse 19. Psalm is a good book of breaking down. Psalms 147, 19. Remember, I said, in Isaac should I see be called, right? Let's look at that. Psalms 147. I was talking to my brother the other day, and it was kind of like a debate. Just a somewhat what. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. In every video, he tried to cut me off. It's like they don't want to hear what you got to say. But I was able to still get some scriptures in there. I put Philippians 4, and then I listened to him, and then I said, if you look in the video, you'll notice that I was humbly, patiently trying to hear him out until it just got too overwhelming, tense, and I just said, enough is enough. Let me stand up and say something. And I appreciate the brother Melon Wisdom who came in the comment section and supported. That meant a whole lot, although that brother have a lot of wisdom. He have a whole lot more wisdom than I do, you know what I'm saying? But I'm getting there, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? The brother got a lot of wisdom, and that brother can tell he break down. He knows how to break it down. He know what to do with the breakdown. Let's look at Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. He only giveth his word. He's only dealing with Jacob. He's only dealing with Israel. That's all. He said he shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any other nation. As for his judgment, they have not known. That's what it means. He ain't dealing with the other nations like that. He's only dealing with Israel. Now let's go back to Genesis chapter. Let's read Genesis 21 and verse 12 one more time. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah had said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. In other words, I just read it. He said, these are they which were the children of the flesh. The children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. The promised seed will be the Israelites. That's why God was only dealing with them throughout all the Old and the Old Testament is just the New Covenant. The New Testament is just the Old Covenant. It's not they not. There's no such thing as Old Covenant, Old Testament, and New Testament. We are not under that no more because that's some stupid. It's stupid ass logic. You see what I'm saying? And so this older lady and my brother, whom I love so much, came up and tried to jam. It's like they tried to. It's like people try to double team you. You see what I'm saying? When they feel like you don't know nothing, or when you feel like you don't know scriptures. Look, I don't know for sure where my forefathers go back to, but I do know this is common sense. God does not love everybody. It clearly tells you. He says in John 3:16. It's clear. The context is in Isaiah 45 and 17. People should read that and be like, "Oh, okay. I thought it was that." It's simple. Isaiah 45 and 17. Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That's it. Why would he always say Israel? He didn't say Israel and the Edomites, Esau shall, and all of the other nations shall be saved. He didn't include no other nation in that. You just read, if you pay attention and read that text by itself, you see you don't see Edom, you don't see Ammon, Moab, the Philistines, none of them people is in that text. No nation of people but Israel. Come on, people. You got to deal with the truth. You can't run from the truth. You see what I'm saying? So I do want to be edified more so I can go on the streets, because it's like they say, it's easy for me to sit in my bed and here, sitting here and speaking in here, but I need to be able to be built up in the faith. So that's where it's gonna really tell when I go out there on the streets, when you put yourself or put your life on the line for your people and stuff like that's where it's really that's the real deal there. So let's go Genesis 25. Yeah, Genesis 25. The Most High says in Genesis chapter 25, 20, verse 1, then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimram and Jokshan and Medan and Midian, and Ishbak and Shahar. And Jokshan begot Shobel and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Asherim and Lashim and Latham, and the sons of Midian, Ephad, and Ephah, Hanok, and Abiadad, and Eladiah. All these were the children of Keturah, and Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. Isaac was to see Isaac. Abraham had Isaac, and Isaac had Jacob. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. See that? So then concubines, those were not was not Israelites. You know, they was like somebody that Abraham slept with. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 160 and 15 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his son Isaac Ishmael bare him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephod, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Memory, and field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed Isaac. God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi. See, God took uh, his concubines and sent them back to the eastward unto the east country. Those were the concubines. That's where they was from, out of the east. So he sent them away because from this end they're not Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Those were concubines. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generation. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nabijah, and Kedar, and Abia, and Mizsim, Masbim, Masim, and Mishmaiah, and Damat, and Masia, and Adar, and Taman, and Jotar, Naphash, and Kiddamat. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah and Shar, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Assyrian, and Pathan Aram. the sister of Laban, the Assyrian. Laban was was I think it was like Jacob's uncle Laban. That was Rebecca's brother Laban, because he had two daughters that Rachel that he served. He worked for his uncle Laban for his those which were Jacob's cousins, and he married Laban, which was Jacob's cousins, like I said, and they were Laban and yeah, Laban's two daughters. Laban had two daughters. One was named uh, Leoban. No, okay, I want to make sure I got it right. Um, Rachel, Leoban. Rachel, Jacob served his uncle for 7 years, and then 7 more years, which would be 14. He served 14 years altogether. He loved Rachel more than he loved Leah, but God turned around and opened up Leah's womb first, and that's where the Israelite children was born to Leah and Rachel. I believe Leah and Rachel were Negro women. You know, I'm pretty sure I got it right. But if I say some things in this video that I got them wrong, I'll say my bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to be misleading people, but I do know that they Rachel and Leah was they were not. I don't think they was concubines. I think they was they were Negro women from what I looked up. Okay, we'll get back to that. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. Now you have to understand why the children struggled, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, "Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated." People saying God gonna bring us together, but when you read in the Bible, God says He separates people. Separate from thy brother, from thy bowels. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. That's talking about Esau. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. Esau is red and hairy all over. He was red and hairy all over. Said it looked like a garment, y'all ever seen a sheep, like a sheep or something like that, a goat. How they have so much fur on them and stuff. Esau, they had hair all over. They skin like it's just like literally probably like my hair on my head, like everywhere. You couldn't hardly see no skin. It was just a lot of hair. You know what I'm saying? It's just a depicted description of Esau. Even though a lot of our forefathers and foremothers hard headed, they mixed up with the other nations, and now you got a lot of our people, with ended up with a lot of traits like Esau. You see what I'm saying? They ended up with a lot of traits like damn. And when you look at people and they got hair on their body, a lot of time it just be because a lot of people that mix with the other nation. Just like if you look in Hosea chapter what's that? Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8, it says Ephraim has mixed himself amongst the people. Ephraim is a cake. Ephraim is is the head tribe of the northern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And thanks to the Hebrew brothers, I watched the breakdowns over and over for let's see, since 2018, because it was all Greek to me. You know what I mean? But I still got a long ways to go. I still got a little ways to go. And it says, and when her days were delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was threescore years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Like if you think about like when I like for me, when I go home, like when I years ago, I think when I was I used to walk a lot and go out and stuff like that, they go places and stuff. But it's just certain things that you do, like some most of the time when I was like 15, 16, I was just stay at home and chill, clean up and eat and watch TV. I really didn't want to go nowhere if I had the TV, you know what I mean? Like now we got the internet and stuff like that. We look on I like creating videos and stuff. Sometimes I just create other funny videos and stuff like that and so on and so forth. But I try to put out content like this, try to tell people what nationality are. Sometimes I was uptown today and I was in where I was. Well, I was in Save-A-Lots. First I went to Walmart. Then I went from Walmart because I walked from the store is about maybe a mile and a half or maybe 2 miles. I'm gonna say maybe a mile, almost a mile or maybe a mile and a half, something like that. And I walked from my house to the store to Walmart. Then I left Walmart and then I kind of got down the streets and I said, no, I forgot. Let me go back to the store. So I went to the closest store. From walk from Wendy's. That's why I did the video at today earlier. And I kind of walked halfway to the house, not all the way. And something just told me it's to go back to this grocery store. They got a grocery store called Save-A-Lots. So I went there and I got a few little snacks and came home or something like that. And I said, well, let me get enough so I won't have to come back out because I just want to sit at home and chill. You don't be wanting to go nowhere because I don't have no desire. I don't love doing other stuff. I don't love hunting. I don't like that's something that I don't do. I like to sit at home and chill in the warm, like in the wintertime. If it's like cold outside, I'm gonna turn the heat on and I'm just gonna sit in the house and be chilling. That's it. I ain't gonna want to go nowhere, especially if I got the computer, get on and watch videos and make video. I love making videos. I really do. I like making videos, just regular videos sometimes. Sometimes you just look at my other videos. I just make regular videos just trying to be funny, just other videos. But I do like doing the biblical videos, you know what I'm saying? And I just sit down and chill. So that's what this is. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. All he did was he chilled. He just was chilling in tents. Plain man. It didn't describe who he was. It didn't even describe who he was. It just described who Jacob was, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know? And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And then let's go over here. I want to read Genesis 27. Let's look at Genesis chapter 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. That's not it. Where that part at? It says, and Rebecca, okay. He said, Esau is my brother is I'm a hairy man, and Jacob is a smooth man. You know what I'm saying? Esau is described as having hair all over his body. You know what I'm saying? That describes Esau. And because a lot of our forefathers, they mix and stuff, that's probably why a lot of us have kind of like have a lot of facial hair and stuff like that. Some people, because that is a depicted description of Esau. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a depicted description of Esau because Esau was red and hairy all over. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I was talking to my brother. We didn't get a chance to get this far, and I kind of touched on Esau, but I was touching on. He was telling me that the law was done away with and everything. He was just all over the place, and I think what it was, he was just trying to find a way just to actually confuse or try to like cross me up, in what I was saying. You see what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable picking up the Bible unless I'm revealing the truth, the real, all of the truth. You see what I'm saying? And if we don't expose the whole truth, this Bible, we should don't. Why would I pick it up if I'm not going to expose everything? You see what I'm saying? That's what a true servant would do, bro. You know. And these are the okay. And okay, here I just read this since I see this in. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing where with his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of my the days of mourning for my father's father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. Just like you got George Floyd. George Floyd got killed by Esau. That's why Esau has so much hate in his heart for the black and the brown. Because they know who our people are. They know it. They know it. You see what I'm saying? And he is the one that brings all this confusion into the world. You see what I'm saying? So I read it first where it said he shows his word unto Jacob and his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. So that's it. That's what the Bible is saying here. And these these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, does comfort himself, prospering to kill thee. See what I'm saying? Esau. Why do you think the Bible talks about this man so much in the Bible? Because he's killing our people. Now, I know a lot of people gonna come on here and they're gonna say I'm racist and they're gonna do this and that and the third. But it's the truth in what I'm saying. It says Esau, it says, and these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, thus comforting himself, prospering to kill thee. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise and flee, thou to Laban, thy brother. Flee to Laban, my brother, to Hiram. That was her. That's Jacob's uncle, and tarry with him a few days, until thy brother's fury turn away. Sometimes, if you are in a town, although you can't escape the enemy, Esau, the devil, the so-called white man, um, sometimes like you gotta leave because sometimes when you even go in a store, Esau is harassing you. Like me, I go in Albertson sometime, and every damn time that I go in them stores, and I'm looking around, and they just watching you to see if you're gonna take something. And one time, I end up going off on them because I told you know how the elderly people, they'll tell you, baby, you got to give it to God, and you got to, you know how they are. You know, some of them are. They'll try to encourage you to handle things the right way. You see what I'm saying? And I'd be like, yes, you know how you respect the elder people. You're like, yes, yeah, yes, ma'am. I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Trusting God, just don't ignore it. Just do this and that and the third and all that kind of stuff. And you be like, they just following you in the store. Everywhere you going, they acting like they putting stuff up, but they actually every aisle you go on, you see them. I ain't going in no damn store shopping like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going in no store shopping like that. You know? Let's see. All right, let's keep reading. And unto thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forgotten that which thou hast, he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from hence. Why should I be depraved also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? Heth. Heth, I don't really, I forgot. They must have been some concubines or something. They must have not been Israelite women, the daughters of Heth. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. Heth, if Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? They must have not been Israelite women in order for her to say that. I'm gonna look more into that. I'm gonna make sure I'm right on that. You know, they had to be concubines though. I see a scripture, Genesis 24 and 3. Genesis 24 and 3. Genesis 24 and 3. But unto but thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And it said, and Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his elder servants of his house that rule over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Lord God of heaven and the God of the earth that thou shouldest not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, okay, among whom I dwell, but thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. So I'm thinking that the wife, she could have been an Israelite woman, Leah and Rachel. I think they were Israelite women. Because Jacob took care of his 12 sons, and he was living in a house while he was taking care of two women and all his 12 children and everything. So um, I'm gonna come back. I like it when the spirit it's more, seem like it's better when the spirit is more powerful upon you. You see what I'm saying? You can say things, you can just say everything. You see what I'm saying? At one time or whatever. You know how you feel like you just like you leaving something out or something like that. That's how I feel right now. You know what I mean? Unto Yeah, this is I read that already. Genesis chapter uh 27. And I pretty much read a lot up in here and covered some things up in here. And I talked about Ishmael and how Ishmael is the Arabs and all of them. Ishmael, even though uh Abraham, that's Abraham's son Ishmael, but God didn't choose the lineage of Ishmael. God chose the lineage and the seed of Isaac. You know what I'm saying? So that was read in Isaiah chapter 20. No, Genesis 21 and verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grieved in thy sight because of the lad and because of thy bondwoman and all that Sarah had said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So Abraham, Sarah and Abraham, they say like was half brother and half sister or something like that, But I think Sarah was an Israelite woman, you know what I'm saying? Because God spoke to Sarah and told her that she was going to have a son in her old age. She told her she was going to be 90 some years old, when she was going to have a child. And I think that was in Genesis chapter 18 when God spoke that prophecy to her. I think it was right here. I think this is it. Now, Abraham and Sarah was well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being young, being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, therefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a sure to bear a child which am old? Is there anything too hard for thee at the time appointed? And I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou dost laugh. So Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou dost laugh. So this is telling me that God dealt with Abraham. He dealt with Abraham. So it's him. He dealt with Sarah as well too, because Sarah laughed when God told her she was going to have a child at 90 some years old. 90 years old, and Abraham was going to be 99 years old when Isaac was born unto him. And Abraham ran unto the and heard and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto the young man, and he hasted to dress it. Let's see here. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. Okay. And they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham, Sarah was old and well stricken in age, and ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? Is there anything too hard for thee? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou dost laugh. So it was funny to her. Sometimes when God do something, or you tell somebody, or you tell your family members, like, God loves Jacob, which is the progenitor of the forefathers of the Israelites, but he hate Esau. When you tell people that, they look at you like you stupid, you know. When you describe who Esau is, they see you as crazy. I can tell you one thing. I may not know all who I am, my forefathers are, but it's like you have a spirit in you. Like when somebody's saying something against what's right, you know how you have a spirit and it just be stirred up in you and be like, no, that ain't right. And when you constantly getting intense because you know they constantly spewing lies and stuff, even though you know what I'm saying. Um, when you dealing with the truth, it's hard for a lot of people to deal with the truth or whatever. But nah, that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. Because I'm the type like that. You know what I mean? I said, I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you feel or us feel when we in our feelings or doing something wrong or whatever. I'd rather be around somebody that's gonna tell me the straight truth and say that Esau is the enemy, the white man is the devil. That's the real truth. You don't want to hear nobody that's gonna take and sugarcoat nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's why if you go and watch that video that I did uh, the other day, you will see how I was tense. And I said, no, that ain't right. I don't feel if you sit there and I'm too intense with you and I can't take no more, my family will tell you, I damn near cuss you out. I get away from you if I don't chop you up with scriptures right away, because I will do that. While they sitting up there trying to find excuses, I'm gonna be looking for the context. I say, let me show you the context of John 3:16. Let me show you the context of John 3:16 that he only loves the Israelites. He don't love no other nation or people because there's 18 nations in the Bible. He only loved Israel. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I said, look, I can give you the context of what I'm talking about. Isaiah 45:16, it says, Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confound the world without end. And then I went to Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 3, where it says, through him the worlds, WORLDS, the worlds were framed. That means they're different worlds. Let's go to James. Let's go to James right quick. Maybe I can give you some more, give our people some more clarity on that. And I can show them. Here we go. James chapter, is it 3? Where it says one kind of flesh, different kinds. Um, what is scripture at? It breaks down. There are multiple of worlds. There's one kind of flesh of man. There's one kind of flesh of beast. James, the book of James. I think I had it wrong. Oh, I had it wrong, people. I was saying the book of James, but it's in First Corinthians chapter 15 and 39. My bad, y'all. That's why I never quote stuff from my head. I mean, just do it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that I quote it out the Bible. I have my Bible instead of just saying things out of my head. That's why it's good to prove things. You know, I think that's First Corinthians 15. It's not Second Corinthians. 5, 6. First Corinthians 15:39. 15 and 39. The Bible says all flesh is, yeah, I even had it marked. Let's look at this here. Let's look at it, and this will help us to understand that John 3:16 is not talking about the whole world. All flesh is not. This is 1 Corinthians 15:39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh. There's one kind of flesh of man, and another flesh of beasts, another fishes, and another of birds. These are also celestial bodies, and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of his terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars, for one star different from another star in glory. See, there's one kind of flesh of man, and there's another kind of flesh is of the beast, and there's another kind of flesh is of birds. You see what I'm saying? All flesh is not the same flesh, and that's what it's saying. That's what is divided. It's talking about people. You see what I'm saying? People, beasts, animals, birds is all a different world, you know, and that's what it's talking about. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some more. I'm gonna go ahead on in because it's getting a little late. I get up tomorrow. We'll talk some more, and I'm gonna say much love to my so-called people of, I mean, black people and people of color, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, which are the real Jews according to the Bible. All right, I'm out.